Hello, guys.
Yeah, they're all
And
pretty.
where else? And oh, as I
Uh,
was saying, where else can we have this finale than in Bathurst? A great track full of challenging corners, and in the Porsche Cup cars, no traction control, slightly less downforce than the GT3 cars, but overall, I bet it's gonna be one heck of a race.
Indeed. Currently, just watching Plasma, who's went back to the pits. They currently have the fastest time in free practice.
That is right. The fastest overall, but
But that won't mean anything
Ali,
until the race actually starts.
10 minutes until race qualifying. So far, we have Plasma, as you said, Plasma fastest overall. The fastest silver so far, we have Ali, followed by Fez and Snooty. And noticing we only have two AM drivers, and Kamirs leads the AM class. Overall,
Indeed.
you go ahead.
Oh, I just said indeed. All good. Just watching
Yeah.
these guys, girls, everyone out there, just getting their practice laps in before we start the finale of the Porsche Cup.
Overall, it's a slightly, let's say slightly is an understatement there. Slightly less packed grid. We have 16 drivers so far, but considering this is Bathurst, I think we'll see some mayhem around race 2.
There could be a few more people straggling along. Still, 9.5 minutes of practice left before the race server goes live, so we'll see if anyone joins up after that.
Oh, that's coming to the wall.
I don't know if that's actually hitting the wall or just the bit of a lag from. No, never mind. He spun out. He did hit the wall.
Pushed a bit too hard there. Now, Bathurst is a street circuit. Partly a street circuit because you have mountain road and got open track for the first and last sector. But the middle sector is the big highlight here. Mountain sector really close to the walls. And I see the left. That is very, very risky with the sun in your eyes there.
Just as we sit on board with Plasma here, you can see just how close it's coming around the walls, up the mountain, fighting the wheel in this Porsche Cup car that doesn't have the best traction and these tight twisties here.
Down this corner, now we're in open circuit.
I don't know the corner name, so I'm gonna guess that one's called Bentley because it has Bentley everywhere on that corner. Down to VW Amarak straight.
Conrod straight.
Yeah.
I'm calling it the VW Amarak straight because that just makes it sound hilarious. I don't even think they call that truck that name here in America either. But yes, it's Snowdog is here. He's mostly just manning the cameras this week. You'll hear him chime in every now and again when he wants to.
I'm in the distance.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. Sorry, I mind.
So is this another lap from Plasma? Alright, Hell Corner. Because, yeah, those are two Porsche cars behind. I think that's Washell.
You can see they're definitely gonna have fun in practice right now, considering the track is green. The current
Washell with a bit of traffic in front.
Practice, let's see what they can do. Especially around the mountain, don't want to get too close to one another, because that just ends into boops and carnage.
Ooh, I think they've overcooked it, and that was a close one.
Yeah.
And Washell has to stop, because I think that interrupted their lap.
Yep. Yeah, just practice time. This time to work those kinks out before we go to actual racing here.
Yeah, you gotta fine-tune that car, make it as comfy as you like, but not too comfy that you're slow. You have to you still have to be fast.
Here in our lovely ultimate pit lanes.
Oh yeah.
say BP in this? I can't see it. But yes.
I just love that sunset. Really looks nice. Great scenery around here.
Yeah, unless you're
Overall.
driving the car and then you're driving into the sun, you can't see it anything, and you wreck into a wall. Ask me how I know.
Of course, yes. This may distract the drivers, but for us in the commentary box, we're enjoying the view.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But overall, we have Polly putting in a lap down into the mountain section. Hopefully, they don't overcook it. Not too shabby around that circuit.
So go on board, see, fight the wheel through all these corners.
A little bit too close there.
That's what it is in the mountain.
Yeah. And now will they lose it there as I see some drivers? No, not at all.
This is hard
Overall,
to drive in GT3 cars with full traction control and aero and everything. You can imagine how much they're fighting these cars today.
oh, I don't want to feel that. I've had some, let's just say, not necessarily good experiences in Bathurst before, but these guys, they're handling really well, considering those Porsche Cup cars.
Yeah. Did a lot of practice in Bathurst. Of course, it's not an easy circuit, because everything in Australia has to be extremely difficult, because that's just what God said. Yes, this is the hard mode of life. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Every animal will kill you, and the racetracks will try to kill you.
I mean, that is the charm that Bathurst has, the risk factor. As in, like, you have this really fast track. Oh! What was that?
Someone had a little oopsie doodle there.
And that was Nick, probably.
Probably too hard in the gas coming at the end of the street.
Yeah.
And watching Joker here, who just recently joined the lobby, getting some practice in before the qualifying goes up.
Let's see if Joker can. Oh, I don't think that's a fast. Oh.
Yeah, a bit wiggly down to that wall. I've done that. I've done that a million times. So I know the feel. That particularly the last corner of the mountain section is quite difficult.
Hard to get the exit right.
It's about nearly 90 degrees while going downhill with camber.
Now we're dipping sauce into the mountain section. I just love that corner, the cutting. Just get as close to the wall as you can, but don't touch it, don't graze it. That will slow you down for sure.
Yeah, walls will generally do that.
But overall, dipping, looking.
Well, unless you're playing Forza, the walls just catapult you.
Yep. And as we say, that dip just touched the wall a bit, but I don't think that was too hard of a bump. Down skyline.
He just dipped his sauce on the wall, you know?
You could say that.
A little sweet sour there, you know?
And then down that corner.
Last corner into the Conrad Straight. I'm still going to call it the VW MRX Straight because that branding is hilarious. Yes, we're here to watch race cars. Buy a pickup truck. Thanks, Volkswagen.
Yeah. I reckon Porsches have higher top speed because of the less downforce. It can be scary around that right-hander.
Especially with the less traction control and less aero. That's where we saw Nick take a little spin the last time.
But overall, dipping has quite a decent lap. We are in, let's say I think that is the 2-minute fours of Plasma, setting the provisional time. And Pali 0.246.
Yeah, well, it looks like the field is pretty much all about each other going down the list there. We have about a minute and a half left of free practice until.
Oh yeah, we are ready. We are close to qualifying.
You're ready, Freddy. Eating spaghetti.
I just love this track.
It's a fun track to drive by yourself and have fun, but with other drivers, it's panic, panic, more panic.
Oh yeah, this track really, really fun. Yeah, like you said, really fun if you're driving by yourself. But in a competitive scene like this, like it's really stressful. Not to mention the tight, twisty sector.
Yeah, especially when you're an AM like me and in the back, and then suddenly you have a way faster person trying to lap you, and you're like, well, you can have fun.
Oh, it's going to be hard to overtake. You're going to be very brave if. Ooh, was that a bit too?
There's hardly any room to give people space on the mountain, so it's part of Mount Panorama's charm.
Danny pushing really hard on the grass. Wow.
And if you're out in the wall, it's still going. Yee yee, as they say in my country.
Right, ooh, a bit swirly down the exit.
Bit of deja vu there, but all good.
Yeah. 10 seconds until qualifying. I think the checkered flag will be out soon. And I think I'm not sure if Danny's the last guy out. But if they are, then
It looks like
this
Danny, Kamirs, and Joker are still out.
Oh yeah.
But this should be... They should finish their lap soon. I think we're still on the practice server, so that will go down soon. Then we'll be right back with the race server. Getting ready for quali.
Yeah.
Just fucking sending it there.
Oh, Danny.
Give us a little show, Danny. Thank you. Nice little send of this week. Finish practice.
Goodness gracious.
Hop on your Euro. Just put on your Eurobeat soundtrack and let's go.
I think that's all the mayhem we have, unless Joker is committing to this lap.
That's just coming down the straight. Keeps it nice and steady to the corner. And the last corner here and across the line.
Alright, it's time for in the night!
I didn't know this was the night. That's gonna be more fun.
Oh yes!
It's like I was wrong. We were already on the race server. We're going right into qualifying, so.
Gotta grab a bag of popcorn because qualifying is taking place in the dark. Headlights on, everyone. And Fez is going to be the first. I think the first one to set a flying lap.
Will be once if everyone gets their out laps done here. It's like everyone's giving each other just enough distance. Don't want to be too close in them out. Mess each other up. So accidents will happen there.
I have a bit of a request. May I bring you guys through the first flying lap as soon as Fez makes it?
Yeah, get there, give him a couple minutes, get through the mountain here, and we'll see how he does.
Oh yeah, the first provisional time.
Just to jump in there quickly, it's worth pointing out that this is one of Fez's favourite tracks, if not his most favourite track. So we'll see how he does in qualifying today, but I have a feeling we're very much going to see Fez on top for this one.
And Plasma was putting in some good times in practice, so they should be probably neck and neck most of the race.
Maybe. It's a shame we don't have Pingu to add to the mix. It could spice up some things.
It's already spicy enough.
Alright, ooh.
It's just taking the curve. He's fine. He's fine.
Alright, here we are. Fez on the first provisional lap. This is the time to beat for everyone. Alright, down the straight we go. It's a bit short, but then you have to brake down into hell corner. A 90-degree left-hander. Very interesting corner. You need great exit because you're going to have... You need great momentum for the mountain straight. You need the great higher top speed.
Drag race up to the mountain.
And down the hill, dipping and braking into Quarry Bend. That is into the clip. Don't clip that curve, but oh, a bit. But
So
now
now
down into
he's lap or not.
Nope, he's still valid. He's still going.
Still valid down into the cutting, a bit swirly down the exit. Right-hander down Griffin's Mount.
Then a counter steer track is now fast compared to practice screen. So the driver's getting used to that as well. A little
Nice
bit
speed
more.
left-hander of Solman Park, and then McPhillamy. These two are pretty interesting in the Porsche Cup cars. And now to Skyline, a really tricky corner to handle, especially in these cars. Into the SS, into the Dipper. Ooh, a bit swirly.
This driver on the mountain for you, he's doing just fine. He's getting this beast around. Down to the final corner on the mountain. Down the Conrad Amarak V6 straight.
Conrad straight. I think that was an old decent exit down Forest Elbow. But now we go into the chase, that chicane, that notorious chicane. It could catch people out with the throttle. Because you're going from very fast speed like this, a very high speed such as this, and now you're back into low gears. Well, not too low or else you'll lose the car. But
as you saw during practice, people might send it through there a bit too hard if you're not ready, if you're not expecting it.
But then, Fez exiting Murray's corner. What will it be? Provisional pole. What else can others do? No one can beat him so far. Plasma in P3. Grim in the mix. Oh no, it's Pally P2. So the silvers and pros really mixed together here.
Especially this front group all together pretty much in the front. Someone looks like they pitted.
But so far, is that Kamirs? Kamirs is pitted, so I don't think they've registered a lap just yet.
Probably had it off and needed to reset the car. Hopefully he gets a nice quality lap in.
So far it is Fez with a 2:04. Pally 2/10 behind. Oh! And as I said that, they suffer a huge crash down into the entry of the cutting.
Probably setting in a bit too hard, trying to make up those 0.2 of a second on Fez.
So far, the top 5 separated by 0.6 of a second.
Well, taking a look at Plasma now, who was the fastest throughout practice. See how he has a little flag come up to him. See if he avoids that wonderfully. He does. Let's see what time he puts in on lap 2.
This looks a bit cleaner than Fez's lap we were on board with. But that could just be down to the POV.
And down the driving styles.
Plasma out here for another stonking lap. Could it bring him to the pole? Could it bring him to the front row at most, at least? Alright, down into the chase. Yes, Plasma has one more corner to go to set another time. The Murray's corner, another 90-degree left-hander like hell corner. And it's going to be, pole!
He takes the pole position on that lap.
Plasma takes provisional pole with 8 minutes to go.
But as he said, still 8 minutes. Anything could happen in those 8 minutes. Let's see if he can improve his time or someone's able to get past him. The Plasma is looking quite strong throughout practice and qualifying so far.
But then
racing with all the furs that he insists he isn't.
But now Snooty has made into the top 3.
All
Now
the
we have a
pro,
pro.
the top pros taking over their
Alright.
positions
Polly
with Polly Grim. And the
still
silvers
has
behind
the
them.
silver class pole by 2/10. That's pretty close.
Seffi is the only AM who was qualified so far.
Yeah, the ones who haven't set a lap yet. Left is it. Kamir's not an option, and Wushel. Let's see what Wushel is. Looks to be on a lap. Now I think this is sector 3. This is the final sector. Now let's see what
She
Wushel.
validated in her last lap, so let's see how she puts in for a lap that counts. And she comes into the last corner here and flies across the line. She moves up
It's
into
12.
P12 at the moment. 2.5 seconds behind Plasma.
Plasma still with the provisional pole. Can Fez beat that time?
I think Plasma may have the pole, but he's going to have fun in the race trying to hold off both Fez and Snooty behind him.
It's getting interesting for the pro class. The silver class a bit more spread, but
And the
surely.
AM is down at the bottom where we usually are.
And ooh, Snooty just out-qualified Fez as we see. Is that someone on the wall? Oh,
Well,
another one on the wall.
My screen's
guess-
a bit fuzzy. It either says 0.08 or 0.00. I can't really tell. Oh, he's very close to getting to Plasma's time.
Snooty and Plasma have the same time. Are you seeing this?
I am. With Plasma being faster in the first 2 sectors and Snooty ripping it down the last sector to tie their times at the current amount.
But Plasma set that time first, so they get the pole.
Up at Fez, just trying to see if he can get
Ooh,
that
Fez.
0.6 second up there.
Fez close to the edge there.
It looks like Pally actually
And
just took 3rd position from Fez for qualifying so far by about half a second.
I don't think that stopped car would face Fez in their flying lap and their challenge on pole, because Ali P3 now. The track I think it's ramping up.
Still showing fast, about 17 degrees Celsius. As Fez comes down.
Oh, this
If he
corner,
can, let's see if he can improve on his time.
these straights, it's either you bleed time or shave tenths second by second as you accelerate to top speed. But then here comes Fez to set a qualifying time. Could Fez get into the top 3? Of course, but is it enough for pole? Is it enough for the front row? Who knows?
Let's see what he
And
does.
Fez is on pole. Fez Fox has set provisional pole with 4 minutes to go.
Now let's see how Plasma and Snooty will respond to that. Their time being beaten by almost 0.2 seconds.
Can Plasma shave at least 2/10 of a second to get pole from Fez? This is really
It's definitely looking to be an interesting race between the top 3. They're all very close in times, trying to outdo each other here in qualifying.
oh yeah. But Plasma, I think Plasma's gonna get a little slipstream from the car ahead.
Yeah, the
I'm
car
not
that
sure.
don't know who is ahead. Looks like they had a bit of an off coming off the last corner of the mountain down the straight, as most people usually do. Looks like it's not an option.
That is not an option.
It looks like it was an option there. Why not? And an option went off the track, giving the Fez just free reign on the track here to continue his lap. Let's see, coming up here towards the final corner
We are
in the finish line. Let's see if he can pull pole from Fez or not.
I think Plasma. Is that
Nope,
P2?
It stays in P2 in here.
Yeah, it is P2. Close between Fez, Plasma, and Snooty. Really argy-bargy over the pole position for race 1. Few minutes to go. An average lap here is around 2 minutes 4, so I think Fez should be alright enough for another lap.
Looks like
So I think
Kamir's
it's
put in that time for AM and the head of the AM
Yeah.
class. Kamir's and Sefi are
Am.
going to be right by each other, looks like, for the race, so that'll be interesting for the amateur standings.
It's not an option. I don't think they've set a time yet. This is concerning. Oh, a bit swirly down there. Struggling to get that car into control.
Yeah,
And no, they haven't set a time yet. This is... Oh,
bit of a boop on the wall there. Boop pursuit.
a rough day for the number 36 silver Porsche. Silver class Porsche.
Has their blinker on. They are indicating they're going to be turning right. They did turn right there. Very good indication.
Either they just left their indicator on, or...
Yeah, it's like following a Buick on the highway. Its indicator's going to be on for miles. Hopefully they can complete the time. Looks like they're having a bit of struggle. I don't blame them. This Bathurst is a difficult track to handle in cars like these.
Yeah, but they should have enough. I think non-adoption still has time to set a lap.
And if they cross the line soon enough, if this lap is valid, they should be able to get one more lap in, I'd imagine.
Oh, a bit.
And they bend it.
Catch the curb and spin it. Trying to get that car out of the track as much as possible because someone is on the lap as well. Great caution. Oh, will it be close? Yeah.
This is slowly going to go around the outside.
A rough qualifying for not an option. Oh, gets a bit too...
Needs to lay off the throttle a bit. These Porsches on these corners spinning themselves out.
Porsche's
Like,
not happy, yeah. But dipping sauce. The dipping sauce, the first one to set their last qualifying lap.
Gets some
Nine.
gets some many position, goes from 13th to 9th there in the last.
Now the fight remains. Who will get pole? Is it either Fez, Plasma, or Snooty? Because those three have been close to each other.
Yeah, they're still out, going for one last lap, see if they can one up each other one last time before we move to the race.
Here comes Plasma down the exit.
In P2.
I think the Delta is hanging on all right there. It looks all right. It looks nice. Let's just see if Plasma can keep it composed down the final 3 corners as it goes right. The first 2 corners, this chicane, really tricky as we saw from not an option. But Plasma seems to be handling it just fine.
If he doesn't mess up, he looks like between 0.4 and 0.5 of a second up on his fastest time so far. So let's see if that gets enough to get him in the pole as he crosses the line. And it is at the very last second.
Provisional pole.
He snatches pole.
And that is definitely pole.
Yep. Everyone else
Fez
is
and Snooty.
Fez and Snooty have pitted, and Plasma in the very possible last second of qualifying takes pole position.
Incredible. Now I think Saber's going to have setting a time, so we're gonna have to wait. Oh no. I think we're done. Are we done? It looks like we're done, and that is Plasma on pole for the pro class.
Fez obviously not happy there, as you see in our race chat, with Plasma beating him at the last possible second for pole position.
Wow. A bit pretty rough competition for the top two.
It's just because Plasma loves having a bunch of furries behind him. Oh, well.
But Pauli, silver class pole with 3 pros splitting them and leftism.
Yep,
Danny at the bottom there, and then
and
Kamirs for the AM class pole.
it became Ruse with Steffi right behind him, so that should be an interesting battle for AM class there. Looks like the rest of the AMs, like me, have decided this car sucks, so we're not going to race this series anymore. Because we suck at driving them.
I haven't driven these cars, but I am scared of these.
I did the first couple races, and I did not have fun, let's say that. Lots of spinny, crashy.
Looks like the only one not to set up time, not an option. Let's see what they can do from the back of the pack.
Oh, maybe they'll stay in the back the whole race, then they'll get pole for race 2.
I mean, we still have crashes, so not an option still has a chance to make up a few positions.
Sure does. Mount Panorama, when you get up there, is not forgiving, so positions will be made there if people get a bit too skittish.
Consistency and clean driving is key. So if you're starting from the back, I don't think you don't want to be aggressive, too aggressive either, cause you could just end your race. But here in the Porsche Cup, we have race 2, so the reverse grid race. Now, with this reverse grid race, now we have a chance for the last place finishers to defend for their life, because you have like several faster drivers, well, at least according to the race, wanting the top spots.
Everything. You just wait for server to switch over to the race.
Yeah.
I'll go down the list here. For P1, we're gonna have Plasma starting out. P2, Fez Fox. P3, Snooty McFluid. P4 is Pally. P5 is Caffey. P6 is Saber Kitsune. P7 is Joker Joker. P8, Leftism. P9, Grim. P10 is Nick. Well, P11 is Dipping Sauce. P12 we have Bushel. P13 we have Danny. And 14 we have Kamirs. 15 we have Seffi. And last at 16 we have Not an Option.
Now we are racing. We are preparing to race in this sunrise. Just set up your setups. Make sure your fuel is not in your quality setup, because trust me, you don't want to have an underfueled car for this race. Right, formation lap will be starting in 1 minute 20 seconds. Like you say, we have a front row of Plasma and Fez. Now, who is going to get the better jump down into Hell Corner? Yeah, like we said, Fez, Snooty, Pally, Calf. We have Caffey and P5 to test them. I love that livery. And then it's Saber. We got Joker. And the 2 Race Venturas. Absolutely lovely liveries of Leftism and Grimlily. Gotta love those. And then we have Nick. Yeah, we have Nick dipping with Shell. Danny. Come here.
30
The other
seconds.
race Ventura of Sefi, and not an option. Now 30 seconds up until the formation lap, so
Everyone's
let
getting
us get the
started there.
show on the road.
Getting
20
their engine
seconds.
started and ready to go.
Fez already has their lights on. Plasma, I think, taking their time. Let's see.
10 seconds.
I mean, it's daylight. Don't need your lights on.
We are about to have our formation lap. Or in other words, try to survive with these cars. Warm up the tires, warm up the brakes, and get ready for one hell of a start. As the engines roar, Plasma is off, Fez is off. Carefully, because no traction controls. These things can go off when you launch them carelessly.
Walking to the first corner. Class taking the inside. Fez on the outside there for a little bit. That's the drag race up to the mountain now.
I think everyone's respecting their delta as they should. Yeah, you gotta warm up those brakes too. Gotta get the better braking down into turn 1.
Warm up the tires, some brakes. Track is still fast with 1 degree Celsius
Yep,
higher temperature than it was when we were practicing quali.
the top 3 surely stacked close to each other. But Snooty backs out of it. I think that's to get into the warm brakes. But so far, I think everyone's had a clean formation lap. I think, did Nick go a bit too fast? Yeah. But everyone's just trying to carefully bring their cars down a full lap, warming up the cold tires, cold brakes, and then getting ready for that almighty race start.
It's worth pointing out here that Plasma's not actually taking part in the vast majority of the competition, but has turned up purely to do Bathurst. That's how much he likes Bathurst.
Really?
Yep. Not much a fan of the Porsche Cup car in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but I'm told, purely from what I've seen in the Discord chats, the car performed a lot better in iRacing, so we'll see how his race goes. He's obviously held on to a provisional pole at the moment. We are in race 1, so race 2 would mean if he finished in race 1 in P1, he would start at the back of the grid in race 2, so he would have a lot of work ahead of him.
Oh yeah, Plasma, far away from the pack. I think who is following who is respecting their delta. But anyways, we are getting the show on the road as we go second file sometime around this section.
Probably should be going double file soon, I'd imagine.
Probably around the final corner.
Yeah, probably just past coming up to the kink in Conrod Straight. Now it would be just coming up to this bit and then around the chase corner, start to double up again.
Oh yeah. You got people blinking, swerving, accelerating and decelerating, trying to get those tires warm, brakes warm.
Like we're going double wide now.
And there we go.
Chicane here, getting ready.
If you want to send us, now Zizi's off to send us off into green light for race 1. You may go for the honors.
Alright, we are coming down the end of this little straight here, coming up to the last corner very slowly. Alrighty, we're just coming up into the corner, coming up to the straight, and away we go with the Porsche Cup finale. As Plasma and Fez bolt off in front of everyone down the street as we're going down. And to the first corner here, we have Plasma defending on the inside. Fez taking a look on the outside. They're almost side by side as we go up to the mountain here. Fez falls in right behind Plasma, getting the nice sucks in his rear end. That's the two fastest Orthodox apprentice qualifying take off for the rest of the field.
So far, everyone's had a clean start, but this could catch people out. Let's see.
The first part of the track is easy. Now this is the part where, let's just say, this is real pod racing.
Oh yes, this is going to be spicy.
And I shot all the cars coming around the little carousel type corner there.
So far, it's clean. Interesting. And yeah, bit on the wall, but no major incident down lap 1.
I think everyone's keeping it nice and clean. Good. And race
So
not
far.
here.
And that is not an option. Looking at Sefi, right behind. Could you see a move? Oh,
Be a
but
bit.
I don't think heroics are a good idea here.
Yeah, not on the mountain. Maybe we could start with the straight, but not the wisest to make a move up here.
In the mountain, you gotta stay as close.
So
Oh!
it's like not an option. Has took themselves out.
No.
Spin around.
Now it's. How is everyone doing on lap 1 though? Sefi still has a gap, but I think everyone's off clean. I think Leftisim has had to jump on Saber. You can see a silver splitting the 3 pros.
And our
So-
top three has predicted is of course Plasma, Fez, and Snooty. As they come to the end of lap 1 here.
Wow. See the difference? Oh, a bit swirly, some of these guys. Oh, that is
Especially as the track
that
is
is
still fast.
Leftisim looking for the gap on Joker. Round the outside. Can they do switchback? No.
Joker closes the door, Leftisim goes around the
Ooh.
outside, going up the drag race, trying to out-drag them. He's getting a bit of a push from behind. Does
Yeah,
out-drag him
four.
up straight here toward the mountain.
Almost 3 abreast.
We're falling right behind.
2 Race Venturas really hunting in here. As Leftisim takes the lead, we have a 2 wide between Joker and I'm Saber, I assume? Yeah. The Grim is still behind Joker and... Oh, this Race Ventura sandwich is with Joker now. Grim Lily now in the back of Joker. Really aggressive there. Nose up the rear of Joker's car. Oh!
It looks like Leftisim won off.
Leftisim's lost it, and have they interrupted Grim's lap? The teammate. No. And oh,
Leftisim goes
that is
to the
out.
pits. Must have got some
That is
major
their
damage
race.
there.
That is the race done.
Yeah, but they have left this one race Ventura car now with Grim left.
We have 2 Race
As we
Venturas now.
As you watch 2 lead, Fez and Plasma pretty much away from the rest of the pack, having their own race at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Snooty
Yeah.
trying to catch up, but Plasma and Fez looks like they're going to be battling each other for a lot of this race.
These 2 are in another league at the moment.
The government there seem to only be racing each other. Plasma is keeping Fez off.
Okay. And then we see the train of Grim Lily, as we saw last time out. Yeah, Grim... Oh, something must have happened, because I swore I saw everyone right behind Grim, but now it's Joker leading that train.
Looks like Grim went around everybody and got himself
my
a
goodness.
nice gap.
Midfield, always going spicy. The best battles of this race. Michelle, a bit too wide. Oh! What was that?
Cameras.
I think that was
cameras
some-
that went off.
That was cameras off. Scary stuff from the midfield. But yes, so far, we have a battle between some of the pros and the silver drivers of Dipping, Nick, and Michelle. Really a train down there. Joker as the locomotive leading this slipstream train down into Bathurst.
Nice view of the wing here.
To see how the battle is going on behind Joker.
Watch the rear end of Joker's car as we see Saber and Dipping file behind him, coming down the mountain. As you do.
Saber looking close down the section, but it could be the concertina effect. Ooh, I think Saber's got on Joker at this area, but no. Concertina effect doing its thing, tricking me, making me think that we have close racing.
I think it a bit closer there on the corner, but Joker just a better pull down the mountain.
Everyone is generally neatly spaced now. Their priority is to survive.
You get close here with Saber and Joker.
Saber's looking aggressive.
Seems like Joker is having more power, but Saber is getting more cornering ability as this battle progresses on for this race.
Saber tighter into the apex than Joker, by the looks of it.
But Joker on the throttle sooner, keeping it nice and steady, so. Nice battle of styles here.
Ooh, does Dipping have the advantage? No. I don't think Dipping's got the exit.
So a nice little three-way battle here. I think another battle going on behind them as we head up into the mountain again.
Dipping neatly in that slipstream though. And oh, is that an overtake from Nick? Oh, it's an overtake down Nick! Danny on the outside,
Okay.
Nick on the inside line. Danny's hit the wall! And that's Nick through.
Beginning of the mountain, too. Danny's just going to have to wait to try to get his position back until we're going back down the mountain. Unless he has gigantic balls and wants to make a pull and move on the mountain.
That would be quite a risk, honestly.
Yeah, especially, there's only 12 minutes of the race left.
Dipping looking close on Saber. Yeah, Dipping's looking really aggressive today. Ooh, Dipping's gone a bit wider. No one's lost the car. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I think that's just...
Was trying too hard to not break enough for that corner.
Just hit newbie, I think.
Yeah, I guess he was a bit parked in the middle of the corner. That's unfortunate there, but...
Dipping outbrake themselves.
That is what happens on the mountain. If you push too hard, trying to get a position, it is not nice to you. It will bite.
Dirty air will bite you.
Looks like they just missed their braking zone. That's
Fez and...
no Plasma and Fez, P1 and P2. Same gap they've had the whole race. These two are just stuck together like glue.
Fastest lap from Pally, I think.
Like...
Pally's got the pace. Got the exit on Snooty. Too wide down the mountain straight.
Looks like Pally's car is an inch ahead. That means I think Pally is just ahead, passing Snooty up into as we go into the mountain, but Snooty down the inside braking. No. It looks like Pally closed that gap at the minute as we go back up into the mountain. Now can Pally get some time and try to catch up to Fez and Plasma? Or those two just race by themselves for the rest of the race?
I mean, Pally's got the fastest lap so far. I think Fez and Plasma are too busy fighting themselves. That Pally with the clean air. If he can get...
As if Snooty doesn't mess with Pally might be able to catch up as Fez and Plasma continue to fight.
But Snooty's still not giving up. This is a battle for first and third. Gotta be careful around there. Don't want to overcook the car there. You could find...
How close the wall some they are not forgiving.
You could open the gap to your opponent there. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to have the disadvantage down the straights. As here we go. Snooty in the slipstream. Is Snooty too far that Pally is free to race? Now we are halfway. Last 10 minutes to go. It looks like Pally's got this really well. Fending off Snooty, trying to catch up to the top two, having a duel of their own.
Yeah. Track is still fast. 1 more degree from when we started at 19 degrees Celsius. It shouldn't be affecting the drivers too much.
Ooh, I think Snooty's a bit aggressive down there.
Yes,
Touching some.
Snooty went a bit wide. Touch some grass, as you do.
Now the pace really defining. The pace is really split. We have these guys who are of similar level, and then you got Pally and Snooty, and essentially Fez and Plasma. I think Nick is going for something down Rochelle. Has Nick got the slipstream? Looks like it, but
And
saving
too
that.
far behind.
Too far behind.
Especially as we go into the mountain. Try to gain more time.
Don't be too opportunistic.
Yeah, don't want to be too aggressive into the mountain or you'll mess up your day. Looks like Wishell's catching up. It looks like as Nick comes into Wishell's tail, Wishell's coming up to Danny's tail. Of this group of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars we have together here on the mountain. That's always a dangerous time, but we're keeping it nice and clean out there, so good work, everybody.
Nick abiding their time, just waiting for the gap to open. Ooh, a bit too spicy on the brakes.
Looking nose in there a bit. I was not expecting Michelle to break as much as she did there, guess. Ooh,
Oh, that was a bad exit from Nick.
yeah, bad exit. Put the car drift. This opened up a gap for Michelle to go concentrate on Danny.
Let's have Wushel closing in on Danny. Yes, it is. Wushel in the slipstream. Can they catch Danny before the right-hander? This is going to be a very daring move if Wushel does it. And looks like it is. My goodness. But no, Wushel's abiding their time. Oh, it looked like there was going to be a move down there, I swore. But Wushel with the better. Wushel is, ooh!
Bit of a wiggle there. Probably getting on the accelerator a bit too fast out of the corner. These cars will do that.
Wushel closing in on Danny as well. And it's that Danny with a poor exit. Oh, Wushel with a poor exit. Nick goes down the inside. Uphill corner to concede P9. But I think does Wushel have the better exit to fight back into the next corner?
Michelle is a very fast short, so let's see if she'll get that position back as we're now watching Saber.
The fight between Saber and Danny looking pretty close. These two stuck together like Snooty and Pally and Fez and Plasma.
Pretty much. They've gotten away from the rest of the pack so far. The pack of 5 is now split up between these 2 and the 3 behind them.
And if that's going on, I bet Grim is on a race of their own, and they both touch the wall.
Yeah, just following each other, trying to hold off as best we can. 6 minutes left to go. They don't want to get out of the position this time of the race.
And was that Danny and Nick together? Yeah, it's Danny and Nick together. Wushel's a bit far behind.
Wushel drops a bit, not have had a good lap.
Oh, there goes Nick down the inside. Will this go well? They go too wide down the straight. Who had the better exit? Is it Danny or is it Nick? It's still side by side, but I think it's Nick looking a bit faster there.
I got just a nose ahead right now. Let's see when we come down into this chicane here. What happens?
Here we go. Scary right-hander a bit.
Ooh. They're fighting until they're not letting him go.
Is Nick brave enough? Nick is brave enough down the inside.
Ooh.
Almost pushes Danny wide, but Nick gets the move done. Incredible.
Was Danny a bit wide. Danny touched the grass there. Nick gets right on through. Michelle's catching up towards the end here. Oh, brakes a bit early. Looks
I
like he.
think Danny overcooked the brakes and leaves
Yep.
space for
And now
Michelle.
gives space for Michelle to catch back up and go chase Nick.
That was a horror lap Danny experienced.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
Danny,
the end of the lap.
Danny looks to have the exit on Michelle. Moving side. This midfield battle, surely the best.
And looks like top Plasma still holding Fez off as he has the entirety of the race. Fez will not be happy with that.
Bushel still. Yeah,
Bushel
Bushel still
holding
defending.
Yeah, holding off Nick here, and the mountain has come around to be.
Danny.
Or Danny, I was reading it wrong there, my bad. They're all so close together.
Danny is sniffing, very aggressive, right behind Bushel's.
Trying to get that large shark tail out of the way, but Michelle is saying no, not currently.
Danny really getting close to these walls. Michelle defending. You don't want to outbreak yourself here, and I think they're trying to race as cleanly as possible, but Danny
As cleanly as possible and try to put as much pressure on Michelle at the same time, which is a dangerous game in the mountain. As we come down to the last corner.
Here we go, another overtaking opportunity. Use the slipstream.
Looks like Michelle's gotten a little bit of a gap as we come down Conrad Street here to the right-hander and chicane we got. Michelle making that Porsche as wide as possible, blocking Danny from trying to the overtaking attempts as we come back down to the start-finish line. Oh, looks like Danny. Looks like Danny trying to get on the accelerator too quick, swirled out of there a bit, giving Michelle a nice gap to hold off and have a relaxing lap for a little bit here.
It's not having a great race by the looks of it.
Pull up to Joker here, who's being chased by Saber.
The two there, still tied to each other, basically. This small slipstream train of two cars has been going on for quite a while. Now I'm curious. I think those are the drivers closing in. I think Joker and Saber have been fighting so much that Nick is in the cusp of fighting with them too. So is Michelle and Danny.
Yeah, these are the two that did pull off from this pack of five earlier for a little bit, but the pack of five is starting to reform again.
Here we are, the battle again, still in Plasma's hands.
And Fez is still right behind them though. It's not going to give up. Especially when it comes to trying to be Plasma and make fun of him. So Fez is driving the heck out of that Porsche right now, trying to get. Ooh, mistake, and Fez falling into the mistake.
Oh, this is getting spicy, and we're almost down to the last lap.
They fought so long as this where Fez can make a move. He's as close as he's gotten all day. He's literally on the.
Oh my goodness!
These two have fought for so long, it's getting a bit unfriendly at this point.
Spicy racing for the final lap. I believe this is the final lap.
Oh, on the final lap, this is where most likely this is where Fez is going to have to make his move if he wants to take P1 in the first race. Plasma has held him off the whole race. Can he hold him off for one more lap?
And I saw some blinkers.
That's his Fez doing a little feint to the inside, trying to keep Plasma on his toes. That's his classic racing right there.
Getting spicy as soon as we pan to them on the final lap. Interesting racing.
Moves has to be made.
But I don't think
and they better keep it clean. If they mess up again, Pally's right behind them to take over. If they go off, they did like the last lap, Pally might take it.
Yeah,
Pally's just open. These two take each other out.
Win here if they get too excited with this battle.
If things get too spicy for the pepper.
It's Carolina Reaper, whatever, at this rate. Oh my goodness.
Let's see how
Oh,
they do here. We're coming down into.
I think Fez had a poor exit there. Oh, Pally is within slipstream of Fez by the looks of it. But I think they're finely spaced. Plasma still holding on to that lead.
Unless Plasma suddenly goes off into the woods for some reason, it looks like he's going to take race 1.
They better not outbreak themselves like they did the lap
Yeah.
before.
Looks
Oh,
like
Pally, look at the
Valley's
bolts.
getting right on Fez's rear here. Looks like Fez
Those
probably
tires looking
looks like
fresh.
looks like Fez overcooked his tires the last lap, trying too hard to chase Plasma, and that's going to keep him in second for this race as Plasma goes across the final corner and across the line. Plasma has taken race 1 with Fez in second, Pally in third, Snooty in fourth.
What a relief. This
It
race
looks
was
it
looking
looks like
spicy.
Caffey in last place already finished, as must have been right there.
Must have been lapped. And Pally with the
Yep.
fastest lap of the race.
Yep, and then we get Joker here being chased by Saber into the last corner. Looks like they're
Joker's
gonna
held off
go.
nicely.
Joker's held off. Joker and Saber and Newbie all finish. Michelle right behind them as you see crossing the line, followed
And
by Danny and Dipping Sauce not too far behind them. With
there we
the AM class of Kamirs and Sephi bringing up the rear.
Kamirs with the AM class win. And I believe that could secure the championship.
Looks like Dipping Sauce just past Sephi there towards the end. Looking at her, or just the telemetry might have been off for a second there.
And Sephi, the last one to cross the line, still has the final corner to go. And we are done with this race and on to race 2 in
Race
a couple
race 2, reverse grid style.
Oh yeah.
So
And
it's
it's
gonna be,
Kathy
and then
on provisional pole.
that's gonna be extra fun on Bathurst
Mhm.
with all the slow cars in the front and Fez and Plasma trying to bowl through all of them.
And by the looks of it, Kathy is on provisional pole if I think not an option is not let me see the chat. I think not an option.
Left is another option to have left for the day. So, Cafe will we have pole in race 2 as we do our reverse grid style race for half an hour.
I'm not sure if Leftism is still in it, but if
No,
Leftism is still in the race,
doesn't look like it because they don't have any total time stuff left. Looks like they both left. When last time we were on the track, it said only 14 people were racing. So it looks like that's what we have for race 2 as everyone chills in the pits. Get some water and a snacky snack and before we go out for race 2.
all right.
And meanwhile, whilst we say that, we're going to take a quick break as well. Guys, grab drinks, grab snacks. We've got a longer race with a reverse grid coming up.
Oh yes, the spiciest race, the finale to send us off.
So we'll see you in a few minutes.
So it looks like due to some people leaving the server, some shenanigans happened, and we're not doing reverse grid this time. So round 2, fight.
May we apologize for the inconvenience, but we still have race 2 to go. 30 minutes of the same racing. Let's see what the conditions.
Let's see if Fez can pass plasma this time.
Yeah,
I'll be
essentially a
honest, lads,
restart.
I need to be right back, so just hopefully I can make it back before race start, but I will be as quick as I can. Cameras are focused on Fez and Plasma. I'll change them and let you know when I get back shortly. Alright?
Alrighty.
Thank you. Enjoy, everyone.
For some reason, this popped up. Plasma and Fez have drive-thrus, or is Fez doing something to make it so?
Ooh. Now what is this?
I'm guessing this is the steward's way of trying to correct the server being funky and not doing reverse grid, and giving the top half the field drive-thrus.
It's interesting to see things go like that.
Yes, that's what it looks like they're doing. So he's giving the top 6 drive-through penalties, so they'll start in the back and let these slower drivers start ahead if they should have.
Interesting. The top 6 get drive-thrus, and that leaves the bottom. We got geniuses here.
And now we take off for our parade lap.
The genius of these stewards. It's almost frightening. But we are now on formation lap. The top 6 will have to will probably race at the back, and let Joker, who has provisional pole, for race 2.
Yep. It looks like you're still doing some more drive-throughs as he is giving one to Grim in 8th.
Grim and Joker.
Looks like he's dipped in the top 8 now have the drive-throughs. This is looks like our little fix to make it actually reverse grid. Somewhat as best we can given the circumstances of whatever, as the server gods were not happy today as they tend not to be.
I am interested in this technique. Let's see how this plays out.
Should be interesting. Don't think we've done it before, so let's see how it actually works out. Let's see when they'll take the drive-through too, because at least they have a few laps of buffer to take it whenever they take a drive-through lap. So
the top 10 will. It looks like I don't know the full procedure, but the top 10 look to be starting at the back.
Yeah, I'm not in Fez's ears, so I don't know what it's doing here. So
and whoa.
I think he did want to spun his car up.
Did that just happen right in front of my eyes? Did the delta just change?
Yeah, I think Dipping Sauce might have had an off or something because he suddenly
all the way
in the last place.
Dipping all the way to Seppi, their positions change.
Well, I don't know, whatever magic you're doing behind the scenes, we're just trying to decipher here at the commentary booth, so forgive us.
I have no idea what is going on here.
I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just watching as it goes, seeing what's going on.
Yeah, they should probably do this quick by the time they reach double file, because these guys still have their drive-thrus.
Yeah, I mean, they have, if I remember correctly, there's like a 2 or 3 lap buffer you get to take your drive-thru, so we'll see what the strategy is, unless Fez is going to want them to take it immediately, but, you know, I don't have that information, so we'll see how this goes here as we come down the Conrad Street, and we start to get the double file here in a minute. Oh yeah, we've gone to some shenanigans here, Snowy, of how Fez has figured this out to make it reverse grid work. So we're kind of just watching and figuring out as we watch.
The engineers at the other area trying to make this work on ACC.
The server won't work. We'll make it work anyway. It's the Simufur way.
It looks like the bottom, the P10 to P14 have been swapped. But so far, the top 9 still haven't conceded or something. Still
Well, I mean, we're on our parade lap. You have to give them time to actually get to the lap, get onto the lap, and then do the drive-through, and then that'll put the guys in last up to the top as they pass them in the pits.
Besides, here we go. Double file for what might be race 2. I don't know how the stewards are planning it, but let's find out.
Just
Now
watch.
the final
That's
corner.
all we can do is watch.
Now the top 9 that drive to penalties. I
Yes,
assume this is how they're doing it.
I'm assuming they'll take it the next lap because they have to cross the line to get the race started.
Now down the final corner. Here we go. The final race of the Simufur Porsche Cup Championship.
And away we go. Almost. Where we go now? Now?
There's green light and off to the races we go. Fez with a great start.
Plasma with an even better start on the inside. They're side by side in the first corner.
Still side by side down lap 1. Everything's going
I
interesting.
don't know why we're getting excited. They have to pit soon.
But Fez may have to jump on Plasma. Can Fez go down the inside of this?
Plasma is
Plasma looking
about
quick.
a nose hair in front, but Fez got the inside line.
But Fez leads this race, but with a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, I mean the top 10 the top 9 all drive through, so we're just gonna be patient. Hopefully these guys don't wreck each other too hard in the first lap here, as they have to take their drive-throughs and let the last in the back take their positions up front. As we do
Nick has fallen off into the back there.
a jerry-rigged style of reverse grid here we had to do, because servers were like, nah. We're like, ha.
We are still having this race done though. Here we go. Fez and Plasma dueling it out for... I have no idea where they're going to end up. Either the back or front.
The most exciting race in the world, up to the drive-through.
Yep.
It is going to be a mystery, but I believe it is Dipping Sauce who...
The first person to McDonald's wins.
Dipping Sauce is is destined to take the lead as soon as the drive-thrus are served. And oh, here comes Plasma down the inside! Bit risky down there, late on the brakes.
Plasma pulling the move. Plasma getting the mid pitch.
Plasma has lost it. Oh, that is race. Oh my goodness.
Plasma causing the chaos. So you should just take shut it down and taking your drive-through, Plasma. What are you doing?
Blinkers out there. But now, everyone's serving their drive-through. It is Dipping Sauce in the pink Porsche who leads this race. And right behind Dipping is Danny in the slipstream, looking very aggressive up his tail.
Yep.
And
as we drag race up the mountain, coming into the mountain. Looks like Danny's gonna try to look on the inside, but probably not get it there in time.
out of this one.
Yep, backing out. Through the mountain as they come. We're coming around the mountain as they come. Sorry, I did that at least once.
Ooh, Danny look a bit swirly on the brakes there. I think
giving some time for Rochelle to catch up.
That has opened Rochelle into the mix, probably. And oh, Danny's hit the wall. I think Rochelle is going to... Oh, Seffi.
Seffi tries to hold off Fez. That'll be terrifying. So I am there trying to hold off Fez, one of our best pros, on the mountain. I would be crappy myself, but you know, it's up to Fez to try to pass her cleanly, so...
I've had it.
on, he tapped her rear end and spun
Got a
himself into the wall.
Seppi and Fez
Seffi
contact.
got away. Fez
And there's
messed
Cameron's
himself
off.
up. Cameron's off
Seppi.
ahead.
And I think Seppi has got the AM class lead this time. Unless Cameron's can catch up. Then this is Seppi's race for the AM class.
26 more minutes, so anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen here.
Down here.
Overall, this confusing race turns out to be interesting as it genuinely mixed up the grid. It did.
Yeah, and with our flurry of starting drive-thrus to make the reverse grid work.
I think that Snooty getting past Seppi. Really clean pass there. So far, our top three are Dipping Sauce, Danny, and Michelle.
Followed by Seffi, Snooty,
Oh,
and Fez, who's still in
Yes.
P6 after that little accident, so must have not had a great amount of damage. Still trying to head towards the top.
Seppi. I think Seppi's giving the positions away, or they're overtaking them. Either way, this grid is really mixing up a lot. And oh, we've got someone running wide. They're on the grass, bouncing on the grass, actually. And
Could have moved on a bit. Looks like it.
I believe it was. I'm not sure.
Saber. It looks like we lost one person. We're down to 13. Who did we lose?
Saber at the back.
Can't remember.
No, I think that's. Is that Grim? No, wait. This race is confusing. I think that's Grim off.
Seppi. Nope, that was Seppi.
No, it's
and
Seppi.
Nick's just overtaken him.
And remember, Seffi and Grim have the both same livery.
Yeah, the Race Ventura is really great livery. Same. I love the livery, but sometimes it confuses me on who goes off, who's staying on the track. But there is Grim, actual Grim, holding off Joker.
And
Actual
trying
Grim
to.
is supposed to fake Grim.
Actually Grim, but not Seppi. But you get it. That is Grim. Seppi's
None of
back
our
there.
drivers right either. All real people. So. And we have Grim on behind of Plasmos trying to get back up positions.
Yeah,
Trying
Plasma.
to sniff.
I think Plasma's peeling off, but Plasma, not the greatest start. Outbrake themselves down that chicane
Yeah.
and caused mayhem.
Yes, right before we had to take a drive through as Plasma. What did a little bit of silliness.
Yeah. But anyways,
Fez.
Dipping still in the lead. Fez, I think Fez is on a charge. So is Pally.
Yep, in 5th and 6th respectively.
Now, can they close up to Snooty 2 seconds behind?
Yeah, yep, from 4th through 7th is Snooty, Fez, Pally, and Plasma. We're top 4 the last race, so they're charging their way back up to through the grid.
Snooty 11 seconds behind. The top 3 are really far away. Yeah, there we are.
Coming to the top 3 of the Dipping Sauce, followed by Danny and Michelle. Looks like Dipping Sauce and Danny have the biggest gap towards of the lead, which Michelle's a bit behind them at the moment, but
Danny looking behind Dipping, but there's Michelle stalking in the back in that short racing Porsche. Ooh, Danny's looking better in those lines.
yeah,
But Scott,
but can't really pass here, so just waiting until we get off the mountain, try to make a move. But just letting Dipping Sauce know that it's there. As we come down onto the Conrad straight here, let's see if any
A
moves
little
get made.
Danny looking closer behind Dipping.
Very close
Now
here,
that
coming down the street. Michelle's just behind, watching those two race each other, hoping they make a mistake so she can
Ooh,
pounce.
too wide down the right-hander. It is going to be tricky. Ooh, and that's Danny. Is that Danny
Danny
around
gets
the
a bit
outside? of Dipping?
ahead, but Dipping takes the inside there. Danny takes
Finding it.
Dipping
Wow.
keeps his position.
That
Nice
is
fighting
great
through the
defense from the
nice
Joss.
fighting through the chicane there. Nice defensive driving, keeping this line, making sure Danny can't get past him.
But you know, the
Ooh,
more
looks
a
like
bit,
I
but
couldn't tell if
the
that was
more
a
they
bit of
fight,
contact, bit of sliding between both cars there.
the more they fight, the more they're inviting Washo to join them. So it isn't going to be good for them either way.
Yeah, as I said in our little fun race we had last week, you just feel like Jaws music behind you as Michelle comes up. Da 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 da.
Yeah, short racing. We have two short racing teams, of course, my Blue Shark and then Washo's short racing. Great.
At the moment, just pretty much looking at Danny and dipping sauce, hoping these two racers try too hard to make a mistake at the current time. It's the way it's going, but we still got 20 minutes
Oh,
left.
that Plasma on Pally. Plasma looking behind Pally. Plasma with the fastest lap of the race. They are on a run now. Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Roundly out. You can't make it move there.
Oh no,
They pressured Pally.
They pressured Pally making a mistake.
That is fantastic.
Ballsy move, but you know, doing what he has to out there.
You gotta pressure them. That is
and now Plasma is catching back up to Fez of our battle of the first race. It's going to be happening again, except in reverse.
Oh, hitting the wall there. And then the two rivals coming close to each other now. Fez and Plasma. After the mayhem they had on lap 1. Here they come.
We just have one AM. Looks like Kamirs must have retired for the day after that accident we saw a few minutes ago.
Out for now for race 2, but
so
Fez, just a little bit.
It's up for Seppi to get all the points for AM class today in this race.
Oh yeah. Kamirs takes race 1, and if Seppi holds off, they could have race 2.
Seppi just has to finish and she'll take race 2 for the AM. That's the only AM.
But
if I was Seppi, I would just, you know, have a nice Sunday drive here, take the points for the class, and call it a day.
Yeah.
That's Plasma. Plasma slowly creeping himself back up to...
What? Is that Fez? I think...
The pits?
Yeah, I've seen damage on Fez's front. Ooh.
And he had damage and he slid into the wall into the pits, so something happened to Fez
there.
Damage
there as he came into the
yeah. So Fez takes a pit, Plasma takes the position back, and he's now in 5th.
Yeah, they are. Now, I think Fez has just retired from race 2, by the looks of it.
Looks like something. Yep, Fez just retired. Just seen his name fall off of the list. Looks like something happened to him along the way when we were watching the others race. And he has retired his car due to too much damage.
11 drivers now on the track.
Well, Cappy is pitting. What happened to them? Are they still racing, or are they just fixing damage?
I have no idea.
See when we come around.
But Cappy, I think that's their day done. Dipping still holding up that lead nice and cleanly.
Bathurst keeping up his reputation of being a brutal track to drive with all our drivers falling out left and right here.
Oh yeah, including Fez.
Yeah, he was one of our best drivers here at Simufur.
We don't get to see Fez battle with Plasma a second time. But that first time was very interesting. Plasma breaking himself.
I don't know why Plasma did that, because he had to do the drive-thru anyway. That was just Plasma being a bit of a knob.
Maybe.
It's because he's a furry in denial. See, if he just accepted the furriness, he just wouldn't have done it. As a softness would have helped him get around the corner. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point anymore. So we're watching Grim here.
Now we have Joker closest car to Grim. But I don't think Joker's still there. Dipping Sauce still with that lead. Race 2. The stewards always finding a way to make things interesting. If the reverse grid doesn't work, then they find a way.
No. Looking at Dipping Sauce here, all the way up in front. Danny's still a bit more of a gap to Danny the last time we saw him. Still pretty close, but Danny's a bit farther back from the last time we watched this battle.
I Gotta say, it could be Bathurst, but dipping is really holding off Danny well.
Yeah,
And I think,
especially it's easy to do in Bathurst, especially when half the track is the mountain and you can't really pass there unless you want to die.
and I just noticed Wushel far back already, 3 seconds behind. Last time we saw them, Wushel was close to it, close to
Looks
Danny
like
dipping. I wonder
looks
what
like,
happened.
looks like Danny and Deputy just taking off and having their own race.
Could be
And
that.
looks like Michelle's by herself at the moment, as Snooty's a couple seconds behind her. So if that continues, she'll end up with a nice third place finish in race 2.
Ooh, Danny looking aggressive in the slipstream. Have they got the jump on that dipping?
Let's see. Yeah, Dipping still has a good about half-second lead on Danny at the time. Let's see what they come down into the right-hander into the chicane.
And I just received some information in the chat on Fez Fox's retirement. It was too much damage for the car. It didn't feel great to drive for them.
Yeah, that's
By
what
the
it looked
look.
like. That's what it looked like because he was struggling getting into the pits. And when we saw him go into the pits, he was kind of doing a whole lot of initial D driving there. Put a zero beat soundtrack on into the pit lane.
Ooh, Danny looking very aggressive, close to the edge. Ooh, is that a better exit from Danny?
And now this
Is
is
this
allowing the shell to catch up a bit.
now is this the pass for the lead, or will this be them saving their track position because Washel could be stalking them 3 seconds behind? But
I haven't seen the pass coming in yet. They're still not in the mountain, at least. Looks like Danny usually tries to make his moves as they come off of the mountain. So that'll be a
Danny is
time.
looking patient.
As far as I've watched, Danny gets a bit squirrely there, gives Dipping Sauce I don't know, maybe 0.1 of a second reprieve of Danny on his rear end.
Oh yeah, now that you mentioned it, also 15 minutes ago, we're more than halfway through the race.
Yep,
This has been an interesting first 15 minutes.
Race is going by quite fast.
And I thought there was a move there. I thought Danny was very, very brave to take it down there, but no.
Danny just likes to get close on the mountain to pressure Dipping Sauce to try to make a move when you get out of the mountain, it looks like, from the past few laps we've watched.
Besides, a pass down Skyline is very risky.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a great overtaking spot.
I think Danny's trying to overtake him in like the right-hander and chicane when you come down the mountain. That's been where he's tried to make moves the past few laps. So we'll see what he does here, getting closer to Dipping Sauce.
Here we go. Danny looking closer in the braking zones, actually. I
Danny
think
being a bit more
Snooty is in the pits. That is Snooty in the pits now.
Snooty must have had an off.
Maybe. But that moves Plasma up a position, and oh, Danny's looking closer than ever.
And that's Plasma now in P4, chasing top 3 of Dipping, Danny, and Wush. Can he try to get first place in 13 minutes? We'll see. Be a feat if he does. Track is now optimum. This is the fastest and most scripted track these drivers have had all day.
Show you there.
And I'm sure
now
that's caused some of the chaos as the cars are reacting differently on the more favorite track than they did earlier today.
Yeah. Now Plasma, can they close up to Washel for that podium place? I don't think Plasma is not too far behind Washel. I think Plasma could get the advantage of those four, or of those 3.
It's not too far behind. We'll see. There's still 12 minutes of the race left, so plenty of time to catch up. If someone makes a mistake, you know. The race ain't over till it's over.
Didn't say anything. Now we have
Joker here and a P6 as he navigates the mountain.
Grim
behind him. Got a bit of a little drift tap there. Get some points in Forza for that, but not in ACC.
Oh wow. Seeing the cars go down this section from the helo view, it's just very interesting. And then
Nice
down the straight we
snaky
go.
road.
I think Joker doesn't have anything to worry about so far, because
Yeah, but we're back. Now we're
the battle for the
Plas-
lead getting closer.
Yep, Danny and Dipping Sauce. But anyway, each other most of the whole race is pretty much like a repeat of Fez and Plasma, just two different drivers this
Very
time.
impressive on the brakes. Danny. Can they
Dipping
get
Sauce,
this
the
move
silver
done?
driver, has been holding off Danny, the pro driver, this whole race. So.
Dipping trying to conserve the brakes and tires, while Danny is looking very aggressive.
Danny's been trying to get any way to get past, but Dipping has held him off.
Now, is this the move done? Not yet. Ooh, there goes Danny down the inside. Aww.
Nah,
That is not a move.
that's just a feint. It's typical.
That would have been too opportunistic.
No, that's a nice feint to keep Dipping on his toes.
Pressurized.
Yeah, dash to the
Danny's-
inside, maybe make the driver in front a bit nervous. It's a tactic used by many of the more aggressive drivers in their passing mechanics.
Surely Danny looking very aggressive. Definitely wants that P1 for race 2.
Yeah, and it looks like Danny has a bit more speed in the mountain than Dipping Sauce. It's just when to get off the mountain, Dipping Sauce is able to hold him off and let Danny make a move. See, Danny catches right on to Dipping Sauce's tail through the mountain here.
Look at the low speed corners, Danny has the advantage. As we get the last 10 minutes to go. Here we go. I think this is the one, but Danny had a swirly exit, so not happening.
And Dipping has defended quite well through these sectors multiple times throughout this race, so he's used to it by now, I would imagine.
Yeah, Dipping Sauce really knows how to defend Danny after, let's say, I think that was 20 minutes worth of having Danny behind him.
Yep, we still have about 9 more minutes to go.
Yeah.
So far, both have been cool under the pressure of racing for pole position here. Danny hitting the grass just a little bit there and Dipping a little bit more of a gap to get up on the mountain.
Is this the exit for Danny? Wushel still? No, 4 seconds now.
Yeah, this watching the two is.
And that's
Pally.
Plasma closing in.
Yep.
So I don't think the battle for the podium is not over yet. Because Plasma could challenge Wushel for P3.
He's getting close. 8 minutes left. He has enough time. He's fast enough today. It looks like Danny got a bit swirly there, giving Dick
problems with throttle.
I mean, I think at this point his tires are a bit worn. He's been attacking Dipping Sauce for about 22 minutes now.
Yeah, now this is longer than race 1, so those tires must be screaming for help in the final 10 minutes.
Especially as he's trying to attack about every lap we've watched, so his tires are probably on the brink of giving up at this point, and Dipping Sauce is defending quite well, so this may be Dipping Sauce's race to take if Danny's tires are starting to fail, since the gap in this corner usually is not as close as it once was.
Both slipping out, but Dipping still comfy and conserving those tires, driving less aggressive than Danny, and fending them off really nicely.
Just keeping his car in the middle of the track, defending as best as he can, and it's up to Danny to pass him, and Danny just can't get around him.
I think that is Plasma very close to Wushel now. Really wanting that podium place.
Yep, see on the track map there, Plasma is trying to get right behind Wushel at this point. Let's turn the camera on to Plasma now.
Plasma, really fast guy. Pole position. I don't remember race 1. Hold on, wait. Let me...
Winner of race 1. That's what.
Oh yeah, it was very close. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, Plasma's won the first race. Now he's trying to get into a podium for race 2, coming from the back after our drive-through penalty fiasco of making this reverse grid due to the servers telling us no, but we were like, we're going to do it anyway because, yes.
And that is Cappy out now, but 7 laps down. Cappy is out and racing again. That is interesting.
Getting some laps and maybe trying to get a few laps on Snooty. He's only 3 laps ahead, but Snooty looks like he's quit in the pits as well. So maybe trying to be cheeky and get a position there.
Can they do it? I think 2 minutes. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close to see if they can. Depends on dipping sauce. And Danny at the front there. How many laps he can put in?
But surely. And is that Plasma? Has Plasma passed Wushel? Yes! Plasma has passed Wushel for podium
Plasma's
positions.
now into
This is going
P3.
to be... This is going to be Plasma's weekend. Oh, and we have Danny now close to dipping sauce. Now this race is going alive.
Something we've seen.
Race...
A bunch of laps as they
Too
they're
wide.
coming up to a back marker. This happened before. Dipping sauce kept it. See if Danny can make a better move than he did the first time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Danny not able to.
Danny
just like we
nicely.
saw about 10 minutes ago, the same type of move Danny tried there.
Wow.
Dipping sauce closed the door. Looks like they're coming up to a back marker, so that should add some interesting thing, especially as you get up into the mountain.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully they'll be able to pass. That would be Steffi. So hopefully they're able to pass Steffi before they get to the mountain. Otherwise, it's going to get quite interesting in the last 4 minutes as they try to navigate slower traffic in the mountain.
I gotta say, Plasma. This has been their race. Pole, win on race 1, and is currently holding on to the podium place in race 2. After that messy race.
And might have a chance to get even further as Danny and Dipping Sauce come up to Steffi here, who's going to be traffic on the mountain. So we're going to see how they handle this situation. That'll be fun. Ooh, Steffi trying.
Whoa.
Ooh. I would have just raced my race, Steffi, but somehow let somebody on the mountain. Very dangerous there, but not overly too bad there. No wrecks. Now let's.
If they continue fighting like this, I am not sure, but Danny may, Plasma may have the high ground on them.
Yeah, I don't know if Plasma's close enough at this point of the race. Danny getting a bit swirly there, giving Sauce a reprieve, open up a little bit of a gap as they come towards the bottom of the mountain and come down the Conrad Street.
More breathing room for Dipping as Danny closes in the slipstream. I don't think it's going to be a pass down this lap, and that is Wushel lapping Sebi. So Plasma is ahead. Plasma is closing in to the top 2. This race. Oh, that's Snooty out and Joker in the wall.
Snooty having a much worse race than the first race. It was pretty good the first race.
Snooty still has the advantage over Caffey though. But Plasma, can they close up to Danny and Dipping in the final minutes?
They got, what, 2.5 minutes left in the race? Maybe 2 laps left?
Maybe. 2 laps, yeah. And Danny and Dipping. Plasma, you can see him on the background there. Downhill pointer.
Yep, these two just have to, if these two better not have an accident or else Plasma will pounce here, but these two have raced hard each other the whole race. Their tires are probably dead by now. So, we'll see how it goes as we come up here into the mountain.
This race is definitely going down by the wire. It's going to be a very close call here.
Well, it's Dipping Sauce's race to lose. He's held off Danny pretty much the whole race.
Sure he did. And, oh, is that, That's Danny off!
Danny
And
is
that is
off.
Plasma promoting to P2.
Danny's tires probably couldn't have it anymore. Danny was drifting a lot in the mountain races when we were watching him, so his tires probably just gave way. Now this Danny's day done.
Out of this race.
Yep. Danny.
Now that leaves that leaves Plasma having 4 seconds to close down. Can they do that?
Looks like it will be the last lap coming up.
Definitely the last lap.
Sorry for Danny out there. Sorry for Danny out there. If you're hearing or watching, you did have that hell of a race there until the end there. Good race, bud.
But Dipping Sauce holding off, having a great lead, 4 seconds ahead of
Dipping
Plasma.
Sauce showing an excellent defensive driving all day so far. Made Danny over crooked and should take the win if you can.
I have no idea
this
of
final lap.
but I have no idea of what paces they're on, but I believe Plasma has to race their wheels off for this if they want the win.
Yeah, unless Dipping Sauce makes a grave mistake, I don't think this is his race to lose. So
Dipping Sauce has to be careful as well, yeah. And that does promote Wosho back on the podium, but look who's trying to get a sniff of that. That's Pally
right
behind
them. Right behind Wosho. Not too close now. Looks like probably we're gonna end in these positions if I would imagine. Well, we do still have the mountain to go, and the mountain's unforgiving, so let's see what happens here.
And that is the timer down now. This is Dipping's final lap. Now has Plasma closed up? I don't think enough.
Yeah, I don't think Plasma has enough time to close the gap. If he had maybe 3 more laps, he could, but I don't think.
Yeah, this is Dipping.
I don't think he has enough time to close the gap between Dipping.
This is Dipping's race. All they have to do now is to drive the whole lap of Bathurst carefully. They don't want any mistakes.
Still gotta be slow fast.
There.
And Wosho goes off, allows Pally to pass there.
On the last lap, Pally is.
Then Pally goes off there too.
And was that?
Dipping Sauce.
That's Dipping Sauce. That's Plasma. That's Plasma on the lead of the race. Now Plasma has a perfect race weekend there. Pole. Win on race 1.
Sorry, Dipping Sauce. That's a bit of the commentator's curse there. Shouldn't have said shit.
Oh yeah. But Plasma. Pole position.
Getting extremely lucky. Takes the win in race 2. Unless he suddenly dies here in the last few corners. You never know, but
I don't think so. Plasma.
Maybe if I scream you're a furry, then he'll run to a wall. You're a furry, Plasma. You're a furry.
But Plasma had the perfect day. Pole position, win on race 1, and it's going to take the win on race 2. Here comes Plasma to send off the Porsche Cup Championship, and that is going to be Dipping Sauce for P2 and Wosho for P3.
Oh man, that was just luck for Plasma there. Dipping just lost it. Defending from Danny, so long tires were probably dead. That sucks.
Don't forget, Plasma had a messy race this time round. It wasn't clean like race 1.
Plasma started out as to start in the back too.
Yeah.
There's some absolute driving out of the skin from Plasma with a bit of luck there at the end. Gives him two P1s on the day.
A lot of celebratory drifts and donuts.
Yep, and then this is the end of the Simufur Porsche Cup. And guessing it'll be however long it takes some Strata to give up the last results and all the point calculations. We'll know who the overall winner is probably by the end of the day.
And that sums up our Porsche Cup Championship. Thank you for watching with us throughout the whole season.
Just a few words from me before we do end the stream. Thank you very much for joining us for all 6 weeks of the Porsche Cup. Bringing in another 2 guest commentators tonight in Suzuka and Zizi. Hope they've had much fun, as much fun as I've had sometimes doing this. It's been an adventure watching all of the drivers.
Surely.
100%. So, with that being said, it's good night from me.
Good afternoon for me.
A very late good night for me. It's 3 a.m. here.
Oof. See you later, folks.
Yeah, it's 3 p.m. here.